Destiny has played a lot of turbulence in the life of the Kapoor girls. Akshay Kumar is irreplaceable.
Akshay Kumar, what did he exactly say?
It was about having either him or Priyanka in the movie.
He didn't want to work with Priyanka Chopra.
It's not him not wanting to work with Priyanka Chopra. Either of them, circumstances had reached such a point where, and then there were issues. I mean, the audience, the public, the media did mention of a relationship, which the wife got know of.
Karisma's marriage with Abhishek. Now, this you must be knowing because that news completely was a shock to everybody because a boy from Bachchan's house, a girl from Kapoor's house, and Bachchans and Kapoors were supposed to be very close, very, very close.
Sunny Deol is a chapter, so he's the darkest chapter in my life.
You were instrumental in casting Meenakshi in Sunny Deol starrer Ghayal. How did Sridevi go out and Meenakshi come in?
मैंने सुना है कि कुछ 1-2 डजन लोग आ जाते हैं, 26 लोग आ जाते हैं. There been a lot of noise in the media of late.
26 log.
They would shun him, they would ridicule him. Akshay Kumar would come and tell me or give me the names of people I will not disclose on this thing. That मुझे इतनी बेइज्जती करते हैं, मेरा मजाक उड़ाते हैं. I thought समय बदलेगा, सब बदल जाएगा.
क्या बोलते थे? क्योंकि जब हम अमिताभ बच्चन के बारे में सोचते हैं तो ऐसे सुनने में आता है कि उनको लंबू बोलते थे. अक्षय को क्या बोलते थे?
She was placed into a world which was not hers.
You were on that very special flight which Raj Santoshi had arranged for some 50 people, 80 people to go from here. And he had told his very close friends and relatives that he's going to announce marriage with Minakshi Seshadri. Suneel Darshan, this interview is long overdue. I welcome you to the Vickey Lalwani show.
Thank you.
And I think several people are waiting for Andaaz 2 to hit the screens.
Yes, I just hope that multitudes look forward to my next presentation. I've been entertaining audiences worldwide Hindi cinema के साथ पिछले कुछ 37 साल से, तो I think it's due to me.
You come back with a hero whose name is Aayush Kumar. Now, is Suneel Darshan trying to get a new Akshay Kumar into Bollywood?
Akshay Kumar is irreplaceable. Akshay Kumar is a vital part of 7 films in my journey of cinema, and I can never think of replacing him. I'm not looking for an alternative to Akshay Kumar, but as time flows by and time passes, generations change, and Akshay is for a different category of heroes, well established, right? I think right since 2000 he's been well established, ever since Janwar happened. And for the past 25 years, he's actually ruled the marquee. So he has to accept a graduation, in due course, and newcomers will always come. That's Prakriti ka niyam hota hai, So Aayush Kumar is my attempt, sincere and honest attempt to bring more newcomers into the film industry.
I must ask you this straight away. A lot of films of Akshay Kumar have not worked in the recent past. You being someone who was with him in a large part of his career and almost every movie of yours with him was a hit. Where do you think Akshay Kumar is going wrong today?
I was with him through 20% of his career. He's been around for 35 years now.
20% of 35 is what?
7 years.
Years?
7 years, I made 7 films with him. I was fortunate and that I get the honor, and people remember, the world remembers that I have a contribution to Akshay Kumar's career, and it gives me great honor, and it's not arrogance, and it's humility to recognize and appreciate that. Akshay he was a handsome boy who came into the film industry. And in his first phase, which was lasted about 8 to 9 years, he went through a share of a certain growth initially, recognition he got, and then there was a crash that came in. मेरे ख्याल से कुछ 13-14 फिल्में एट अ गो फ्लॉप हुई उनकी, चाहे वो फिल्म मेकर बड़ा था छोटा था. It was very Mithun Chakravarti kind of a phase, which Mithun had been through. He had gone and signed films rampantly in his career, and he never bothered about the filmmakers who he was working for. And Akshay also did that in his first phase, in his second phase actually, the second half. And that's where he lost he lost all credibility is what I realized. But two things that went very well with him, and that's the reason I decided to work with him, because at that point, I did not need Akshay Kumar. I had alternates of actors who were willing, who wanted me to sign them. But I chose Akshay Kumar only for two grounds. One, that he was damn handsome. And the second, he was very disciplined. And he was like, I felt iska potential exploit nahi hua hua hai. So there was this like rough clay. He was willing to submit 100% of himself to me and give me that opportunity to make and create the character I made for Babu Lahar in Janwar.
You didn't answer my question. My question is, what is going wrong with Akshay Kumar's films today?
Nothing's going wrong for him. He's doing damn well. His films, there's no sense of discretion. When the criteria of selection films is wrong, and I think he's done well. I still feel that he has the ability to last out for another. He'll keep working till his biggest driver for him is the financial benefits that he accrues out of his career. Until that keeps flowing, he's not going to stop, for sure.
So are you saying that he's money-minded?
I guess he's a businessman.
So you're also saying that he's choosing wrong scripts in the recent past.
Yes, he's just working. It's not choosing a right or the wrong.
It's becoming like a mechanical.
Yeah, I think it's become mechanical. He's not growing beyond, is what I felt. He's become definitely. I have not met Akshay Kumar since 2005, so I'm not the best person to comment on him. But when I watch his cinema, I feel that there's a certain a growth as an actor, which needs to keep that evolution. Se kehte hain, and you keep polishing, and you do remarkable roles, and you do something where you outlive your cinema that will outlive you. I don't see him doing that so far. There's no movie till today where you can beat his performance, personally, according to me, without sounding conceited. Beat his performance in the Janwar or Dhadkan or Ek Rishta, I just feel that I always thought, that he needs to work steady and stretch his career the way Mr. Bachchan lasted out. Burning out is not a great way for an actor to go.
Basically, you are now saying that his growth has stopped.
I need to see him. I would love to watch him as a great actor. I have not met him, as I told you, since 2005. No. I'm not commenting on his growth because he's grown substantially. He's grown into a big, very, very, very rich man, which was his main pursuit was a professional success, which he has achieved. 35 years. Also, you have to give credit to him that he's a highly disciplined man. He was a very handsome boy. Today in his, I think he's closing into 60s now. And I think even today he's well maintained. And that gives him more potential to last out.
He has been very vociferous in arguing that why are people blaming me that I'm doing 5 films a year, 6 films a year? दूसरे लोगों का क्या जाता है? Now you are saying that it has become like a mechanical process. Now my question is, should he do lesser films?
I personally, when he would seek advice from me, I would always tell him, Akshay, you have the ability to do 4 films a year. Every quarter you can come with a film. If he doesn't keep working, then he doesn't know what to do. And rather than getting himself into odd corners, it's better that he stays on the set and keeps working. So I think it's a great... but beyond 4 films in a year, I think would become too much.
Which he has done.
Which he has done. He's done his prime, according to me. And now he has to go into super prime. So in the super prime, he needs to do remarkable work is what is important. And remarkable commercial films. Akshay Kumar is not an arty actor. He is a commercial film ka hero, loved by the masses. And fortunately, the gentry also today. But he needs to do cinema which is going to give him more respect and more appreciation and acceptance.
So when did you meet him last?
The last time I met him was when he left my office. And after that, never got the opportunity to meet him. I did manage to speak to him once or twice when I think it was exchange of some birthday pleasantries. That is also so very long back. जानवर मेरी पहली फिल्म थी उनके साथ और 7 फिल्मों मैंने 7 सालों में मैंने 7 फिल्में बनाई. जानवर थी, उसके बाद एक रिश्ता थी, हाँ मैंने भी प्यार किया थी, तलाश थी, अंदाज थी, दोस्ती थी और मेरी जीवन साथी थी. तो जब ये 7 फिल्में 7 सालों में बना ली, उसके बाद आई थॉट इट बिकेम थिंग्स वर चेंजिंग. अक्षय कुमार जब जानवर में आया था तब आई थिंक क्वाइट अनएक्सेप्टेबल हो गया था ऑडियंसेस के लिए. जब वो गया तो वो एक बहुत बड़ा स्टार हो चुका था. एंड आई विश हिम द बेस्ट ऑलवेज.
तो मेरे जीवन साथी के बाद when you went out from the office, that was your last मुलाकात?
Yeah, I think after Dosti. मेरे जीवन साथी was ready earlier, but after I finished Dosti, I have not. I mean, we went for a promotional exercise and came back from Delhi on a flight, and then he went his way and I went mine.
There was a film, I think, where he was cast by you and then taken out, and you gave that film to Bobby Deol, which is Barsat.
Yeah, Barsat. Technically, there's a slight difference in the way I would approach it. He was cast. Akshay Kumar was a part of every film that I was doing, and Barsat was designed immediately after Andaaz to be again a triangular love story with a new dimension, and he was cast in the main lead. फिर हमने एक गाना शूट किया. Because putting up the film together, my system was I would record my entire music before I went on the set. So I had recorded the music, and he was having a bit of a date issue. So he wanted me to postpone my film slightly, which I agreed to. But when I postponed my dates, I had to sign Priyanka Chopra for the lead role, and besides Katrina Kaif. And Priyanka Chopra had some international shows for which she was out for about 3 months. So you know how the film kept getting delayed. One beautiful song was shot between Akshay and Priyanka there before they went, before we broke up. And when Priyanka came back and it was time to get into my final schedule, the final 2 months which the entire movie had to be made, I was informed by Mr. I never remember going to a set ever. That day I got a call from him asking me to meet him on a set, which was very strange because this office where we are sitting was our place of meeting from day one to the last time And I was a bit surprised why he called me, and he called me to the set to inform me that there were some issues which were uncontrollable, and they had repercussions on his personal life, and so he requested me to take a decision on how I move further. And I thought that I agreed.
What did he exactly say?
Oh, well, it's not. I can't remember words 20 years back. I just remember that it was about having either him or Priyanka in the movie and proceeding.
He didn't want to work with Priyanka Chopra.
It's not him not wanting to work with Priyanka Chopra. Either of them, circumstances had reached such a point where, and then there were issues. I mean, the audience, the public, the media did mention of a relationship, which the wife got know of. But suddenly, after asking that person to wait for 18 months for your dates, you one day you've shot for a film with him, and suddenly you'd say that, okay, sorry, I can't be a part of it. So I was shocked. He did want to compensate me by saying that I'll do the next film for you. But I did not, I just thought this was unbelievable. Coming from Akshay, if it was coming from another actor, I had faced Sunny Deol much before that, and I'd been through the worst of my life then. So in that sense, I didn't have so much hard feeling with Akshay on the issue, because from Akshay, your expectations, were never too much. I thought it was a great innings that we were playing. Until it went good, I thought it would, as long as lasts. So as he had promised me that he would want to do 100 movies with me, and I should not work with anyone else. And
you were living up to it.
And I managed to do 7.
Until then, you were living up to it.
Yeah, I did. But at that point, I had no choice. I had to take care of the dignity of my cinema, of my profession. And the first thing, and then I signed Bobby Deol for that role, who came in willingly. And in that process, Katrina Kaif also had to, because the dates had got shuffled. So she was out of the movie. And we brought Bipasha in. And Priyanka was there. The title role was for her. And we shot the movie.
But the interesting thing here is that between the two, you chose Priyanka.
I didn't choose. I thought what was right.
No, he gave you the option, either me or her.
No, it was
Akshay
not
gave you that option.
No, that was not about choosing. It was circumstance, the situation about making the film at that point of time. And I thought I had no reason to drop Priyanka. It wasn't about choosing her. Because I had no reason to drop her. I mean, how can someone you claimed, if you go through the interviews from 1998 to 2005, Akshay Kumar's claim to his relationship with me was, if you go through the magazines, you'll understand how the proximity, the closeness that he enjoyed with me, the confidentiality and the trust that I also placed in him. And I often had choices to work with stars who were bigger than him. But I always chose. I said, no, I have this bad...
पार्टनरशिप चल रही है, कोलैबोरेशन चल रहा है और अच्छा चल रहा है.
Yeah, लॉयल्टी फैक्टर कहते हैं जिसे. तो it's didn't. I think everything has its own lifetime and lifespan, and
no, because the makers always go for the hero. If asked to choose, 99 people would drop the heroine. Even today.
I know that. I just thought that what was right needed to happen.
How was that right? You drop Akshay and keep Priyanka?
She did not give me that offer. He offered that to me.
So you felt it was unethical?
I just thought it was not ethical. So Akshay Kumar too, actually even think कि मुझे सुनील दर्शन की फिल्म को drop करना पड़ेगा कि मुझे कोई और लोग. You know that post Andaaz, what happened that duration, every big filmmaker in the country wanted to work with this actor जिसके साथ जो disciplined था, handsome था, उसका career majorly take off हो चुका था. So where were all those people, when Janwar was happening? Nobody was there. They would shun him, they would ridicule him. Akshay Kumar would come and tell me or give me the names of people I will not disclose on this thing, that मुझे इतनी बेइज्जती करते हैं, मेरा मजाक उड़ाते हैं. I thought समय बदलेगा, सब बदल जाएगा.
क्या बोलते थे? क्योंकि जब हम अमिताभ बच्चन के बारे में सोचते हैं तो ऐसे सुनने में आता है कि उनको लंबू बोलते थे और बहुत टॉल है. अक्षय को क्या बोलते थे?
I thought they considered him a non-actor, and respect for an actor was absent. That was bad. And then his films had flopped. So
when you cast Bobby, did Bobby call him up and say, because these are generally the standards they follow?
I was informed. Bobby's secretary, Mr. Bhag Singh, then had already approached me. I said, but then when this incident came, so I called him back. And I asked him, well, is he available? And he said he's totally free and he can start shooting with you next week. I said, but I have my conditions. And my condition is that I'll have an exclusive agreement with Bobby Deol. And he will have to work with me back to back for X number of movies. And he cannot work outside until he completes my entire work. Because I had faced a big problem with Sunny Deol on the same issue. And you will not believe this, that Bobby Deol के मन में मैल नहीं था. Bobby Deol ने हर वो चीज़ comply की. He signed the document.
कितनी फिल्म में?
That was 3 films, if I'm not wrong. And we did 3 films back to back. बरसात, दोस्ती and शाकला.
But Bobby ने अक्षय को फोन किया कि मैं कर रहा हूँ ये पिक्चर.
Yeah, that वो तो होता है ना customary. I don't know whether it is protocoled or whatever it is. But I thought Bobby and Akshay were also friends and that.
Was Akshay upset with you that you chose Priyanka over him? He gave you that option.
No, I don't think. I don't know about that.
He might have been under the feeling or under.
No, that was. You see what
I'm not going to be replaced.
So no. So I'll tell you what happens. If you did not want to be replaced, you should have landed the project. After keeping me waiting for 18 months, you asked me to alter my project. I don't think that is right. Professionalism हर चीज़ में होनी चाहिए. Eventually, however close you may be, this is cinema and this is expensive business.
After that, he did Dosti with you.
Yeah, Dosti was very half-hearted. Somehow the chemistry had fizzled then. And there was one or two people, producers, directors who would come with him on the set, which I thought was highly objectionable according to me. And I did protest on the matter. And then I realized that, my dates on that project were getting shuffled. So what I did was I realized that 60 days were granted to me. And I think I finished the movie in 24 or 26 days, his work in the movie. There was one song that needed to be shot. I waited 3 months for him to come, but he got stuck, held up with some schedule for a film outdoors schedule, and he couldn't land up. I thought this is something I'd never understood or believed could happen with me. So I had realized it was time up. So I had to complete this movie and move ahead.
The working chemistry had fizzled out, you mean? Between you and him?
Yeah, I felt that because here was a man who was known. Why did I sign him? I told you, because he's disciplined. He's a handsome boy, but a very disciplined person who would be on the sets, who was, who would always subvert to the director's brief. That was my experience of that boy. So when I felt that, this is happening with my film, I'm being treated like a second,
Did he used to read lines from a teleprompter? Because since the last 4 to 5 months, there has been a lot of talk that Akshay Kumar is using a teleprompter. I don't know whether that's right or wrong in how a film is shot, but what was the case when he was with you?
Yeah, I don't think there's something. It's very good if an actor can memorize his lines and shoot, but then memorizing large pages for him, I thought was always difficult. We managed it earlier because he was doing lesser work, so it was focused work, so he would not do that. But I did experience that towards the end of my journey with him, that we would, put up the placards. We didn't have teleprompters then, but we had placards, where we could use, and he could read his lines and still perform and deliver. And he's not the first and the only person who did it anyway. There was, I think Rajesh Khanna was also known to do that earlier.
Oh.
So Akshay Kumar, I'll tell you one thing. Akshay Kumar has been, he's not all that bad guy at all, firstly. Second thing is, he's much maligned. He has his good points. You cannot deny them. Unfortunately, sometimes your personal issues, and it's not controllable, and then it comes out and it brings you in bad light.
The Sunny Deol experience, which you have just mentioned earlier in this interview.
Sunny Deol is a chapter, so he's the darkest chapter in my life and my career. But there is God above, and I'm sure there will be divine justice. Maybe the court, the judge, the retired Chief Justice of India did give me justice. But these are powerful people, and they care a damn. But there will be divine justice someday, I'm assured.
But in a nutshell, what was the bone of contention?
There was distrust. There was. It's something that's too bitter to even word.
But you did films with him.
Yes, I did 3 films with him.
Yeah.
I did my first film, Intakam, with him.
Yeah.
Where at that point he was not a big star. He had a potential stardom to him. And before that also there was a lot more to do in the relationship. We distributed most of his movies. I think I had a significant contribution on a project which was his launch, because he was supposed to do something else with some other director, and I recommended to that very Mr. Bhag Singh that I spoke to you about a different project which eventually became his launching pad. Secondly, I distributed his movie. I told you we had an equipment service. We had some of the most exclusive equipment facilitation, and we always prioritized Sunny Deol's movies for that, because I believed in him. There was an image of his that I'd heard of, And I believed in him. I thought cinema would need people of this kind. And then when I went to Intercom, I was a bit confused. Then I thought maybe it had to do with his back problem. Then I did Lutere. It became a 3-year ordeal in the film process of filmmaking. Still there was some confusion in the mind, you know. ऐसा क्यों कुछ गलती से कोई कारण होगा. When I did Ajay was a nightmarish experience in the production, in the making of the film. It cost me much more. It was more of, you know, indulging a little child and getting him to complete your work because you are in continuity. Honestly, I did not want to do the 4th film with him, but I got stuck with him. And he used emotions and fake relationships mentioned, and he got me into a project that he was making for himself. And he asked me to support him for that project, for which he also, some monies were loaned to him. Money that was due to me, he would not pay that to me and all that. But at the end of that, he had promised to compensate me by doing my next movie. And there was no other way to get the money out. They would always say that you're my closest friend and stuff like that. But no, it was one day I was shocked at certain issues that happened, after which I was left with no choice but to go to associations. They flouted association rules. They went to the court. I fought the court. Retired Chief Justice of India, Mr. Barucha, was appointed as the arbitrator. He passed an order with Sunny Deol's consent. You know, he got us to arbitrate and got us to sign on an agreement where he said that, see, the man said he does not have the money, but he's willing to work with you and make amends. So please go ahead and do one more movie with him. I just didn't want to do it, but I accepted because that was the only way to get my money out. And there again, he made me wait for 11 months. He made me.
Which was that movie?
A movie that never went on sets.
Okay.
So in 3 months, he had to okay the subject. In 8 months thereafter, he had to complete my movie. Forget completing. He kept, dilly-dallying me. And I realized 11 months were lost and the movie had not started. So then someone asked me, is he really doing your film? And I got into a kind of a flurry, and I asked my lawyer to send him a letter, and he said that he has not approved the dialogues of the movie. Which movie does a hero approve the dialogues of before signing? And there was no mention of approval of dialogues. Approval of the subject was there. And then he took me back to the court, and the courts have a lot more to do than just listen to Sunny Deol's issues. And the last time that court heard, it's in the double bench right now in the Bombay High Court, was in 2016. And this is 2025. And it hasn't made any headway.
You haven't met Sunny after that?
No, I have never met him.
You haven't met Bobby or something, told Bobby to resolve the matter?
No, they will not get to it. I tried every which way, and because a lot of sizable money then was involved, and I tried my best, but
you could have approached Dharamji.
I'll be silent on the matter. I would never speak of Dharamji or against him. Neither will I speak against Bobby Deol, because Bobby Deol has behaved professionally with me when I made films with him.
You mean to say सब कुछ किया है लेकिन फिर भी नहीं हुआ? You, on the flip side of this, you had a fabulous relationship with Kareena and Karisma. It was heartwarming to see you at the centenary celebrations of Mr. Raj Kapoor at Infinity Mall, and you clicking pictures with them. How was Karisma as an actor, and how did you grow so fond of her as a director?
See, when I started working with Karisma, she was relatively new. I thought 2000. I started Ajay with Juhi Chawla. Unfortunately, Juhi Chawla's dates were in a mess, and we had to replace her with Karisma. I scrapped the first few days of shoot that I'd done, so reworked the thing with Karisma. And the process of working with Karisma was comfortable. I thought I had a good rapport with. It essentially started with her mother, Babita ji. I thought here was a mother who wanted her daughter to be a top star. And anyone who wants to achieve in the film industry, I always support that person. And I worked with them. In that process, Karisma kept growing, evolving, And then Raja Hindustani happened. And after Raja Hindustani, Ajay got released. It took 3 years to make Ajay, a film which should have been made in a year's time, which was promised to be made in a year's time, but took 3 years. Because Sunny Deol in between had got stuck with completing a movie called Barsat with Bobby Deol and Twinkle Khanna. You see, Rajkumar Santoshi was supposed to be the director of that movie, and then they had a fallout then, and a lot of disturbances happened. I thought I supported Sunny Deol every which way. Besides, I was the distributor of the film as well, so I was funding him also there, and supported him in every which way.
Sunny was producing that movie.
Yeah. So Karisma, we worked. Then Sunny Deol wanted to started a movie called London, and he wanted Karisma in that. So she was signed on, and then I was doing Janwar, so she was signed on, and I thought Babita ji she saw a very bright career for her daughter. She wanted her daughter to be a top star, and I supported her, to be honest, her belief, and it was wonderful meeting Bebo also. Then when she was a little girl, I think 12, 13-year-old she would be behind the camera, Karisma was performing for the camera. She would be trying to put her input, how she would do it, and she was lovely. They were like family. Yeah.
Are you in touch with Karisma?
Whenever the need be. You see, there are some dates on which you exchange pleasantries, some dates when you have sad issues happening, and there's always a, whether from me or from her, there is some reaction to it.
Did you call her when her ex-husband Sunjay Kapur passed away?
We've exchanged our this thing. I've known the issue too deeply than a normal film.
The rift
person.
Between the two.
Right from the first day, I've known exactly. Karisma and Sanjay's sister were actually best friends from childhood. Okay. So I know the whole story that transpired in the thing. So
and you're not telling us?
It was sad. No, some things just need to be buried.
So it was a sad marriage from day one?
I thought it was an abrupt decision that happened. And I wish things had been... Abhishek and Karisma's falling apart was abrupt. This marriage, I thought something had to do with stars, not film stars, but the stars. And things. I think it was really, really sad because she was a good girl.
Was Karisma's relationship with Sanjay on the rebound of the fallout after Abhishek?
One really didn't know what it was, to be honest. Because they knew they were friends. They had never been a couple. I mean, Lolo and me went to Delhi several times, and we never saw them as a couple there. She would be with us, and some things are destined to happen. This was an ugly turn in her life, and when she got married to him, she wanted to be a domesticated wife. She felt after a point, she'd become more of a of this character from the doll's house, and she wasn't the person. She had toured the world, she had seen everything, done everything. She didn't want to, she wasn't the kind who wanted to go to play golf on a Saturday evening. She wanted to spend time in her home with her family. She's more of a homely girl. She's a nice, very nice girl like that. It's very sad. I feel for.
I think ये बहुत था उन दोनों में कि वो फ्राइडे को बोलेगा अब्रॉड चलो, संडे को हम वापस आ जाएंगे 2 दिन में, और किसी का मन हो ना हो जाने का, मेरे साथ चलो, मेरे साथ यहाँ चलो.
So she was not.
Was she a trophy for him?
I think that was where the problem came for the family. I thought that was what she had become. I mean, that's what I heard. I think she was placed into a world which was not hers.
No, what do you mean by saying doll when you use the word doll?
She was, the Delhi has its own culture, and she was not fitting into the culture there. That's how I'd word it. There was this huge house, palatial house with endless numbers of cars standing. She had seen everything, yeah. She was Raj Kapoor's granddaughter, whatever you may say. It was fame, success. She had been the number one heroine for a duration. And when she decided to recede, she wanted to live the life of a wife. Unfortunately, that was not what she. In fact, we went together to America then in 2005. Yeah. We had one song to shoot of Mere Jeevan Saathi left, and Sanjay was there, and Lolo was there, and yes.
What happened in her marriage with Abhishek? Now, this you must be knowing, because that news completely was a shock to everybody, because a boy from Bachchan's house, a girl from Kapoor's house, and Bachchan's and Kapoor's were supposed to be very close, very, very close.
Destiny has played a lot of turbulence in the life of the Kapoor girls. That's how I would word it. A lot of turbulence, a lot of tumult it has brought into them. They are fortunate that being Kapoor girls and having that mother who they have, who has tried to protect them, and in that process of protecting them, she has sometimes erred. Babita ji, it's not, she's a human being, she's not God. So गलतियां तो किसी से हो जाती हैं और कभी हो जाती हैं और कुछ गलतियां उनसे भी हुई होंगी. But these girls were brought up, I thought, with a lot of care and a lot of love, and they were supported for their careers. So it was, I don't want to delve deeper than that into it because I'm not a part of their immediate family.
लोग कहते थे उस वक्त कि it seemed to the outside world that there was no chemistry between Abhishek and Karisma.
Chemistry was there, but chemistry was there was. I thought Karisma's. Have you watched my movie? हाँ मैंने भी प्यार किया. The chemistry of Karisma and Abhishek in that movie was very similar to the chemistry I thought in the personal life.
Can you elaborate on that? Because everybody hasn't seen that movie.
There was that चलता रहता था, you know, that. See, some people, it's different kinds of. Essentially it's about trust and belief, and sometimes that vulnerability. You know, sometimes it's sometimes very well maintained. Sometimes it's uncontrollable. I just thought that. I thought I had. It was good. It was very good. Everything was very good until the issues from outside their inner space. They created the problems and disturbed the whole thing. So, no, I think I still feel that people. I still feel that Karisma and Kareena both. I would stand by them anytime.
Priyanka Chopra, who took the nation by storm in Andaaz, you told her to do a nose job. Anil Sharma says that it was he who advised her, but from my sources, it was you. I
don't want to claim anything at the outset. If Anil Sharma ji says that he told her, damn good, he told her. All that I know is when Priyanka Chopra she was almost on the verge of, I was informed that, she was there's no work happening here.
Packing up her bags.
Yeah. She came to meet me. I signed off on Andaaz. She was cast. We made the movie very fast and we brought the film. She had done a little minuscule role in Anil Sharma's movie, whatever it was.
The Hero.
The Hero with Preeti Zinta as the heroine and Priyanka Chopra playing a little doctor's role.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So can you imagine if Priyanka Chopra did not have an Andaaz after Hero, where would her career be? So let's give the devil its due. Andaaz is the movie which established, I don't have to say that today, the world knows that. And I think Anilji himself is a good guy. I have no grudge against him. And if he claims something, perhaps he's right. And I just understand that Priyanka Chopra was potential And I felt if I had not felt that potential then, maybe things would have gone some other way and a career would have worked, but it would not have been the way it worked here. Because I think the moment we started shooting Andaaz and we shot those songs, Aayega Maza Barsat Ka, and that, there's another song which is this thing, Akshay and her duet song was there, Allah Kare and all, in that outdoor. We could see dynamite, it was like what chemistry there was, what, the songs were all looking fantastic, yeah. They were getting along so well, they were synchronized so well in their whole effort in the film, And Priyanka Chopra, I told her, when I signed, I said, see Priyanka, don't think that you're a secondary role in the film. You're a parallel heroine in the film. Give your best, you will be the Sridevi of the film. And Lara's role, which was the main role, would become the Jayaprada. And that happened.
Sridevi, you mentioned, and it reminds me that you were instrumental in casting Meenakshi in Sunny Deol starrer Ghayal.
Yes,
How did that happen? I mean, how did Sridevi go out and Meenakshi come in?
I don't know how she went out, but I was informed by Sunny that she was Sridevi. They did approach Sridevi, but Sridevi, I think Raj approached Sridevi. That's how I put it. Rajkumar Santoshi, but Sridevi was not fitting in for whatever reasons. I have no idea, and they needed a big heroine in the place. And at that point of time, I thought Minakshi was the next in the hierarchy. And but to connect with Minakshi, the mother was a decision maker there. They did not have a professional secretary. The mother could conduct.
So she was the front.
She was the front, yeah. So because she was already doing my movie Intikam with me, and I knew Minakshi right from Painter Babu, let's call her, when she was known as Shashikala Sheshadri. And so we knew each other very well. And I went and I spoke to the mother and I impressed on her to do the movie because they were calling for date hassles, date adjustments. And that was not required. And Priyanka and Meenakshi Seshadri then was an Amitabh Bachchan heroine, and how it was. So that was not called for, but she was very, very supportive. She agreed to do the movie. But Meenakshi was not there for the launch of the movie. So I said, now how do we tell the people, that Meenakshi is the heroine of the movie? So I personally took her along with me, the mother along with me, for the set to the party which was held at the Holiday Inn there, to have it declared that Sunny and Meenakshi are the leading pair.
You recommended Priyanka Chopra Etras.
One day I was sitting here and Priyanka came in and she informed me that I was aware of all the proceedings because Akshay was also being considered for the same film. And Priyanka came to me and she told me that she doesn't want to do the movie because she's been offered the Vamps role. And she was upset about that. So I said, okay, I didn't know much about it. So I said, let me check out what's wrong. And I did my little due diligence and I realized that the meatiest role had gone to her because Bebo, being Bebo, decided to play the hero's.
Bebo was given the choice.
Bebo was given the choice.
Yeah.
And Bebo made the wrong solution.
Yeah, Bebo has always loved to play the heroine. If it's even as a small role with Amir Khan, Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, she'll take that small role.
Yeah, it was with the hero.
Yeah, which I don't know why, but anyway.
Yeah. So she, and then I recalled, then I called Priyanka and I called her back. I told her, you're making a big mistake. You must do this film because the writer of the film, Mr. Shyam Goyal, was a collaborator. He used to write for me as well. So I had the inroads into the subject, what was happening. And I insisted that she sign, and Prakash Jaju was the secretary then. I think we got the film going. And the similar thing happened with Akshay, in fact. So Akshay also had an issue. One day he called me and very, very rarely did I go to his house. And he called me over and he expressed to me that, the agreement from Mukta was there with him. And and he was not, the terms were not working for him, so he didn't want to do it.
What was the
So it was a
bone of
consideration,
contention?
something on the price, on the money. I just asked him, I said, what's the big deal? Here's the film, but produced by an A-grade banner with A-grade directors, and they'll give you an A-grade project. You need dignified filmmakers to support you. That's what he said, but the money, I said, does it matter? I said, just sign it and just go and do one show outside and come and you'll make up that kind of
उतना
money.
जो कम ले रहे हो.
I feel stars, the money should never be an ego issue for them. A good film, a good project, a good film, the potential of Abbas Masthan were in their prime at that point of time. I thought, why not work with them? Subhash Ghai is a big producer even today. And filmmaker undoubtedly. And they would provide him with the best. Yeah. So there's no reason not to do it. So he picked up this agreement, signed it. Okay, done.
You worked with Juhi Chawla also quite a bit.
Yes. Lovely.
What was the experience?
Juhi Chawla, I distributed two movies of hers before I signed up for my movie Lutere. She was the heroine of Sultanat, which I distributed, and then she was the heroine of QSQT, Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak, which again I distributed. When it was time to make Lutere, we decided on casting her. She was in the movie, and I saw this tremendous graphic, the growth of that girl's career in that. Lutere took 3 years to make. Sunny Deol was the hero, so he had this tendency to sign on and then, a dragging kind of a approach. And it took 3 years to make the movie. By the time we finished the movie, Juhi Chawla had become big, and we actually believed that my decision was right to cast her in the movie. And yes, then I was making Ajay, so she was cast there. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a issue in that, where she had allotted dates to me, and we had shot a song in Amsterdam and then gone to shoot 2 songs in Switzerland, and the song was she had to come back, leaving 1 day's work, which I thought was not very professional. When you go do these international outdoors, but maybe there were some other reasons that were compelling her to come back, and yes. So then after we decided that we'll drop her out of the movie because the dates were becoming an issue. She was being hounded by all the top producers then, to do their movies.
तो एक दिन का क्या था? उनको शूट करना था इधर कोई दूसरी फिल्म के लिए.
हाँ, कुछ शूट करना था.
Which was that film?
I can't recall now.
Okay.
So I thought that was, you couldn't go back to Switzerland to shoot for 1 day. The unit of 30 people. But as I said, maybe there were some other reasons for it also, which I didn't know about. So after that, yes, then she wanted to do my movie. She regretted. She sent me a telegram, but by then that she wanted to be a part of it. But by then I had Karisma on, and then the journey with Karisma started. And after Janwar, after the release of Janwar, when I was making Ek Rishta, her secretary came to me and he expressed a desire that she wants to work with you. I said, very nice, I have a very important role in the film. And I cast her there. It was great working with her through that. Then again at the end of that movie, she got pregnant in the movie. And then we had a day's shoot left, which we could not film on her. But that was left. We had to go ahead because the movie's release date was announced and she couldn't come and shoot. And so the relationship we always went through this kind of a thing.
Topsy-turvy.
Yeah. And then again, I was making a movie called Dosti in 2005. And I thought Juhi was the best choice for the role that we had. And she was there. She came. She worked. It was great working with her. She's a great actress. She has always, she has always lent credibility and credence to whatever role she did. And yes, she rates amongst my favorite actresses to date.
I want to ask you one thing. You were on that very special flight which Raj Santoshi had arranged for some 50 people, 80 people to go from here and he had told his very close friends and relatives that he's going to announce marriage with Meenakshi Seshadri. What happened when you all reached there? And where was this exactly happening?
Well, I thought it had nothing to do with a marriage. It was the engagement or something. It had more to do with the launch of a film called Dil Hai Tumhara, a romantic title, Dil Hai Tumhara, and there was this rumor. And before that also, the rumor by then had, association of Raj with Meena. But it was a rumor, for sure. And then because we went there, and there were 2 movies that Raj announced in that event that they had there. And there was no announcement of any marriage or anything of that sort over there. And I don't think Meenakshi, Meenakshi would not mix her work and her personal...
So you're saying there were no feelings between them?
No, there was a professional...
For each other?
From Meenakshi's side, I always believed that it was a professional equation. She did Damani with him thereafter, and I thought it was always a professional equation.
And from Santoshi's side?
That is something which was more heard of in the media, and I have no reason to question on that.
Come on, don't blame the media. I think he was obsessed with her.
Well, it could be obsessions. Directors get obsessed, heroes get obsessed, and the obsession dies out also and stuff like that.
Did you ever get obsessed with any heroine?
I'm obsessed with my work, with my cinema.
Let's come to your latest work. Where did you find these 2 girls, Natasha and Aakaisha?
Yeah.
किसको आपने लारा जैसे बनाया है और किसको आपने प्रियंका जैसे बनाया है? क्योंकि कुछ तो कन्वर्जेंस होगा पहले पार्ट और सेकंड पार्ट में.
So Andaaz 2 was a subject that I wrote in the COVID phase, and it had strangely, it was a triangular love story that I had written, and besides that, there were some social issues, relevant social issues, which have never been addressed by scriptwriters or filmmakers, which came to my attention. Andaaz was similar, just that in Andaaz, the issues that were attended to were touched before in movies like Milan and Prem Rog, and so it was an original in fact, in that sense. Coming back here again to Andaaz 2, I thought that this triangle love story, which was so important to the film, could be called Andaaz 2, because it had the spirit of Andaaz, and it had the music which somewhere aligned with Andaaz and stuff like that. The only thing was I could not think of making a film with big stars, because hearing the way stars, there are issues.
You tried approaching some big stars.
No, I didn't.
For this Andaaz 2?
Never. I never approached anyone. I'm seeing the system of the industry, and we know when the entire system is going wrong with these agencies and with dozens of people, dozens of barriers built between the 2 people who need to communicate with each other the most, the actor and the director. You should never have these walls constructed between them.
I hear that talent managers and all these agencies first see the script, decide whether the actor should do it or not.
I've heard things. I haven't experienced this, to be honest.
You've heard things from the horse's mouth, I'm sure.
Yes, I've heard these things which are ridiculous. But this is a system that has been set up over here, and it must be for the benefit. I'm sure the stars know how to, benefit from every situation. I remember in the old times when an actor was paid 2 lakhs. In 2 lakhs, you could buy a bungalow in Pali in that era. So I don't think actors have been underpaid ever. It sounds, but for that era when they were paid, they've always paid big. So actors are always sar aankhon par kind of characters.
वो उस समय भी एंटरॉज लेके आते थे?
नहीं,
6-10 जन?
नहीं. एक मेकअप मैन आर्टिस्ट होता था, एक हेयर ड्रेसर होती थी, और एक बॉय अटेंडेंट होता था. 3 people accompanied an actor.
अभी फिटनेस कोच आता है, कुक आता है, पता नहीं क्या क्या आता है.
मैंने सुना है कि कुछ 1-2 डजन लोग आ जाते हैं, 26 लोग आ जाते हैं. There been a lot of noise in the media of late.
26 log?
Yes, there was something, an article in the papers about actors demanding 26 people and together with them and all that. I thought it was audacious and ridiculous. Otherwise, so I could not make a movie on that scale and that kind of, that pile-on kind of a thing. That communication बिना actor के साथ ये नहीं बन सकती.
But यार, why does anybody for that matter need 26 people? I mean, what is bothering them? What is bothering them?
It's become a game. Filmmaking is not a passion.
What is that game?
It's a game of power. It's a game about money.
तो मैं अगर 26 जन लेके आ रहा हूँ तो मैं बड़ा हीरो हूँ, और मैं अगर 24 जन लेके आ रहा हूँ तो मैं थोड़ा छोटा हूँ, और अगर मैं 4 जन लेके आ रहा हूँ तो मैं कोई नहीं हूँ.
ये मैं नहीं जानता, ये तो उनसे ही पूछना चाहिए.
नहीं, आप तो यही कह रहे हैं ना, पावर गेम.
It has to do with power game. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. I have worked with Akshay Kumar when he's come with just 2 people.
And today, how many
his
people? His
makeup man and his boy.
And today, what have you heard?
Wonderful. It was wonderful. I don't know. I have never worked. I've never inquired about him.
Other actors, you heard 26, 25, 24.
Heard that, yeah. I hope it's not true.
But producers give this money and then they complain.
The producers have lost their dignity.
They have lost their spine.
No, the producers have lost their dignity. And they have lost their dignity, unfortunately.
Which means they are bending to actors.
Yes.
Why?
Because the scenario in Hindi film industry is in the clutches of corporates. And the corporates are the dictators. And the equation is between the corporate head and the actor. And the producer somehow has become just a pawn in the game.
Where do you see the industry going from here? Because I see 90% of the films, 95% of the films flopping left, right and center.
I have no choice but to be an optimist because I worship this film industry. My Hindi film industry, I worship. I just wish, pray and hope that movies succeed.
And in this era of difficult times, Suneel Darshan comes back with Andaaz 2 with 3 newcomers. Howsoever less money they may have taken because they are new, yet you have spent a bomb.
I need to make my movie properly. I need to give the movie whatever it demands, and I need to make a good movie. I believe I've made a good movie because I had a very good subject and I have very good music. 2 essentials for a Hindi film. I'm not. It's not a single track movie. It's not an incident movie. It's got a span. I look forward and I hope my publicity goes well, and I don't have too many people who get onto my case to disturb my movie, because that's a new this thing happening today in the industry. And
क्या है वो?
No, a lot of bashings, etc., using various platforms to. It's like it's ego issues are happening.
Troll armies are
yes.
So, what are these troll armies? They are pressed into service by actors, you mean? Against each other?
By vested interests. And I've experienced that. I've long experience on that. I know how whenever I put something up, either they come from various interests. Sometimes they come from reportedly from music companies. Sometimes they come from the actors. And I've experienced it.
In which film?
In my journey.
Please elaborate. Which film was this where it was pulled down by vested interests?
Prasad, which had
Bobby,
but it had Priyanka Chopra and it had Vasu as well. And I recall then that we had this premiere, which I would normally not want to have premiere shows and all that. I had a premiere a day before, and before my movie hit the screens, the next morning, the movie had been bashed. It had been killed.
Subah mein, Friday koi.
Thursday, between that Wednesday night and Friday morning,
Negative word had spread out.
The negative word had spread. I was fortunate that the movie, in spite of negativity, disturbed the movie in big towns. Until then, the mobile was not in the small towns. So my movie worked in the small towns and territories like Delhi, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, or overseas. Yes, overseas Bobby Deol's movies used to work 25,000 to 50,000 pounds. That movie did, I think, almost £500,000.
Wow.
Yes. So that all I've faced, and recently also last few years when I've not been working, people who have issues with me for me talking the truth, for me giving interviews like I'm giving to you today, and being forthright and honest, and people attacking me brutally.
Through what?
Because through the digital media.
Mm-hmm.
I've had amazing posts, and sometimes I laugh out of. Earlier I used to get disturbed, My thing is people can't bear the truth because the truth is very dark and ugly.
Who do you think was responsible for trying to sabotage Barsat?
There were certain celebrity filmmakers who were getting disturbed by equations.
Equations of?
By equations, certain equations. You see the rivalry, the competition and stuff like that would disturb them.
There was no actor involved there.
I don't think an actor should have been involved.
Mm-hmm.
But there were these PR agencies, PR agencies who would take on the mic and bash you.
तो क्या हम उस मुकाम पर आ गए हैं कि सच बोलना हमेशा प्रॉब्लम है?
फिर भी सच तो बोलना ही पड़ता है. It's easiest. That's the easiest way out.
हाँ, लेकिन ये मेरे सवाल का जवाब नहीं हुआ. क्या हम इस मुकाम पर आ गए हैं जहाँ सच बोलना हमें दंड देता है?
दंड तो देता है भैया.
पहले नहीं था ऐसे?
पहले इतना नहीं था.
आपने अंदाज 2 के लिए नदीम को साइन किया है. इतने समय के बाद, आई थिंक वन फिल्म ही डिड विद शबीर बॉक्सवाला सम टाइम बैक, वो आ रहे हैं. तो आपको ऐसे क्यों लगा कि मैं नदीम को साइन करूं इस फिल्म के लिए?
नदीम के साथ पहले से काम कर रहा हूँ. मैंने जानवर में भी नदीम को म्यूजिक कंपोजर फाइनल किया था, लेकिन वो यहाँ से लंदन चले गए थे एंड ही वाज नॉट हियर. तो जो जिनके साथ मैं साथ काम करता उन्हें रिटेन किया मैंने. फिर नदीम मुझे एक बार, मैं लंदन गया था, वहाँ मिले. उन्होंने ही एक्सप्रेस हिज डिज़ायर टू वर्क, और मैंने चेक किया, ड्यू डिलिजेंस किया, भाई इज ही अलाउड टू वर्क और नॉट. और फिर तब कोई रिटायर्ड ग्रुप के जो कमिश्नर थे उनका एक स्टेटमेंट आया था कि क्रिएटिविटी के ऊपर ये बंदिशें नहीं होती हैं.
किसके कमिश्नर?
इन बॉम्बे के कमिश्नर थे पुलिस के. तो आई सेड दैट्स वेरी नाइस. तो मैंने एंड ऑल्सो आई चेक, I just felt that he promised me, assured me that he was on the right side of the law, and I signed him up for Ek Rishta. Before that, he was doing films already. He had signed a film for some other movies also. And I kept working with him. Then at a point, I thought there was a time for change, music change ho raha tha. I tried working on a movie with Himesh Reshammiya, and then I did this miscellaneous music composers on Kar Le Pyar Kar Le. But I felt that my cinema needs a certain music composer is also a very important technician on a film. You can't pick songs at random and amalgamate them. I just felt that I needed to have better this thing, and I had an agreement with Nadeem before that of some contracts. So I decided to renew that contract, revive that contract, and as per that contract, I was entitled to X number of songs.
What's the difference between Nadeem and Himesh? You, yes. I believe, rate Nadeem higher from your previous answer.
I don't rate Nadeem high alone. Nadeem is the highest heard Indian composer in the world. So it's not about me rating him. His work talks for himself. The amount of successes he had through the 90s and the 2000s, it's unparalleled. I'm not trying to scratch his back. So if a man who has the ability to deliver, and if that person is available to you, it's just unfair not to have him, to make him a part of your team.
So you went to London to meet him. You all did the songs there.
No.
Or was it happening online?
Today technology makes it so much easier.
He's in London, right?
No, he lives in London and Dubai. One more important thing is there. I have got 8. Sameer is retained as a lyric writer who's been working with me right from 1990s and 2000s, and now once again he's working with me on this movie as a lyric writer, officiating there. and I have 8 leading singers of today's times. So I mean, there's a certain segment that says Kumar Sanu क्यों नहीं है, अलका याग्निक क्यों नहीं है, उदित नारायण क्यों नहीं है. But I have got singers like Shan is there because his voice is needed. Neeraj Sridhar is there, who suits best for the songs. There's Palak Muchal doing 4 songs. There's Assis Kaur. There's a Javed Ali, who's a very good singer. There's Amit Mishra, who brings surprises every now and then. There's Mohammad Irfan. And there's another guy called Shadab Faridi. So 8 singers in this one movie. They've delivered the track for me.
If I take you through your filmography, which are those films which you would like to remake differently?
You know, Janwar could be made. That is according to me, that's one of the highest viewed movies in the last 25 years. It's a kind of the official viewership on YouTube of Janwar is 1 billion views. 1 billion is a huge, it's an official declaration.
तो क्या चेंज करोगे उसमें आप?
मैं उसमें उसकी स्पिरिट लेके फिर जैसे मैंने एक नई फिल्म इवॉल्व करूँगा उसमें से, क्योंकि 25 साल में बहुत कुछ बदल जाता है.
That's the only film you wanted to be treated differently?
No, that's the first I told you.
Okay.
A lot can be done, but I've written a lot of scripts actually.
You did a film with Naseeruddin Shah.
Yes, wonderful actor. The movie is called Lutere.
Yeah.
Sunny Deol, Juhi Chawla, Nasir, Chunky, Pooja Bedi and Anupam Kher were the principal artists there. So we had this role which was written by me, this character, and we wanted to cast him in this role. So approached him. He wanted to do commercial cinema at that point of time because Tridev had just worked there. So we approached him, and the first thing I said, let's be clean with him. I said, here's a role with 6 scenes, but it's a very powerful role. Would you love to be a part of it? Now, at that instinct, the actor in him spoke. कि अगर मुझे एक भी अच्छा सीन मिलेगा तो मैं वो फिल्म करूँगा. Great. So we narrated the scenes to him. I thought every scene of his was simply superb. In the process of the filmmaking, I thought somewhere there was some element of confusion that came into his mind that maybe he needed longer roles, or maybe he couldn't relate to the kind of the language of cinema because he was doing commercial cinema. उससे पहले उन्होंने जितनी फिल्मों की थी वो आर्टी फिल्में होती थी. So he could not relate to it. And but that was short-lived because when he came to dub the movie and he watched the movie to dub the movie and he dubbed the movie, he came out and he apologized. That's the greatness of the man. And he said that, I'm sorry, I never understood what I was doing until I watched the film. And he appreciated it. And then I remember in the making of the movie, one day he mentioned to me that he was a Dara Singh fan, and I told him, my father made a film with Dara Singh called Samson. He said, oh, that was my favorite movie in my childhood. How can I see this movie? I said, we haven't sold the video rights of that movie. I wouldn't sell rights. So he said, तो मुझे please बताना. So I think I sent him a video cassette of the movie when we went into the market with the video rights. So that is Naseeruddin Shah.
अंदाज 2 में आपकी क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं? एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है सुनील कि इस फिल्म को उस फिल्म से कंपेयर तो किया जाएगा,
रबिश भी किया जाएगा. कंपेयर करेंगे तो रबिश करेंगे, क्योंकि क्या कंपेयर वही लोग करेंगे जो इसको अपने व्यक्तिगत उसमें नहीं देखना चाहते. इंडिविजुअली यू हैव टू वॉच एवरी फिल्म इंडिविजुअली. जब आप इस फिल्म को इंडिविजुअली देखोगे तो आपको ये फिल्म उससे बेटर लगनी चाहिए, क्योंकि इसका सब्जेक्ट बहुत स्ट्रांग है और इसका सेकंड हाफ बहुत अच्छा है. हाँ, अब आप बोलोगे कि इसमें अक्षय कुमार नहीं है, तो भी अक्षय कुमार तो स्टार था. यहाँ तो एक नए लड़के, यू हैव टू गिव हिम हिज ड्यू. ये नया है एंड यू हैव टू लर्न दैट हर एक्टर को ग्रो होने में. बट फॉर अ न्यू फिल्म, फॉर अ फर्स्ट फिल्म, दिस बॉय आयुष कुमार हैज डन अ रिमार्केबल जॉब.
ये आयुष कुमार आपको पहले कहाँ मिला?
मुझे यहीं इस ऑफिस में मिला था.
ऑडिशंस के लिए आया?
He came to audition for the role of a friend in the film, and I was looking. I said, यार ये friend नहीं लग रहा मुझे कैरेक्टर का. सर इसमें कुछ और है. So I just gave it a thought. से क्यों नहीं इसको ऐसे हीरो कास्ट कर लेते हैं फिल्म में, और उसका एग्रीमेंट बनाया. वो तो काम करना चाहता था, तो एग्रीमेंट बनाया और उसको मेन रोल दे दी.
और Natasha
had done one film with me called एक हसीना थी एक दीवाना था.
met you in a cafe, she said, during Ek Hasina.
Yeah, at a salad bar. And I thought here was a girl sitting across the table. I said, interesting. I want to cast a newcomer there.
And you bindas went up to...
No, I sent my person to
her friend who was sitting there.
No, to talk to them.
Yeah.
And she came to our table. And I thought she was good.
Aakaisha?
Aakaisha का मैंने वीडियो देखा. Well, she is very popular in Punjab for those Punjabi videos that she does. She comes across, she's got a tremendous personality. She's glamorous. She's मासूम भी लगती है और डांस भी जानती है और वहाँ बहुत पॉपुलर है. तो when I saw the video, I said, yeah, ये लड़की क्यों ना इसको बुला ले. And we got hold of someone in Punjab and had her flown in and signed her.
Let me conclude by asking you, you are a big filmmaker. You have had plethora of hits. You have had, your moment under the sun for a very long time, I would say. You never tried to work with Aamir, Shah Rukh and Salman.
Honestly, I was...
Or did you try?
I never tried, I'm sorry, but I never tried.
Why?
Because I remember meeting, in 1989, I was invited by Mr. Rajkumar Santoshi to watch a trial of a movie where he had cast some new stars. Salman Khan was the hero there in Maine Pyar Kiya with Bhagyashree. The night I watched that movie, I remember meeting Komal Nata's father, Mr. Ramraj Nata, and I gave him my opinion of this movie I had seen. And Mr. Ramraj Nata, they used to run a magazine called Film Information. And he put my review on the front page, the declaration. I actually said that Suraj Bajati, it's like Raj Kapoor in reincarnated, kind of a statement. And
Salman?
For Suraj Bajati.
Okay.
And praised Salman and the girl and the music and the film in its entirety. It was especially superb, it was. And Salman learnt about this, and then Saneem uncle had been a close friend of my father, and we'd done some business together and stuff like that. I remember spending a lot of time with Saneem uncle and Helen ji in Indore way back in the 80s and stuff like that. So he came over and we met up, and we actually toyed then to make a film with him. That because I wanted to launch Dharmesh as a director then. Unfortunately, Salman was looking for a solo starrer. We were looking to make a multi-starrer, and that project never took off. Thereafter, there was no communication again to move
from
ahead.
Either side.
Yeah, nothing. The Shah Rukh Khan, I never had any communication with him. Aamir I knew much before he became an actor. He's a neighbor. He lives in our neighborhood, and yes, and then Dharmesh, and he worked on Raja Hindustani, and then after Raja Hindustani, they went and made a movie called Mela. The original story of Mela was written by me, and the title Mela was mine, and they had gone ahead and made the movie, and they cast Twinkle Khanna in the movie, which was a miscasting. That movie needed a Karisma Kapoor, and unfortunately she was not cast in the film.
You told Dharmesh to cast Karisma?
He knew what had to be done, what he did not want to do. I wouldn't like to...
Why do you say Karisma would have done a better job than Twinkle?
You need a girl who could carry a movie on her shoulders.
But Twinkle did a fair job, I thought, in Barsat. There was Bobby, there was Twinkle.
There was Bobby, the film was more of a protagonist movie. Here, in the subject of Mela, Rupa was the protagonist. And I felt that she was not right for the movie.
You said the original story was written by you.
Yes. The original story was written by me. They made some changes to the story. They added that brother's character. Otherwise,
Acha.
everything else was mine. And yes, and then at a later point, Amir realized that that they needed some permissions and consents from me without just going ahead and making the movie. And he got through to me, and I had no choice but to agree, because I thought they would do a good film. And I consented. I agreed to let them go ahead and make the movie.
And finally, why did you part ways with Dharmesh Darshan?
Sometimes destiny plays its role, and some things are not destined to happen. We made another movie after that called Ha Maine Bhi Pyar Kiya, when people said that Mela had flopped, so and Janwar had become a big hit. So my first responsibility was to stand by, and it would give pleasure to my parents more than anything else.
To put Dharmesh back on track.
To bring the two together, and I tried my best. Unfortunately, some things are not destined to happen the way they are. That's the best way to it.
But क्या ऐसा क्या तनाव था जो आज तक आप लोग के बीच में रिश्ता नहीं है? मतलब आप सगे भाई हो दोनों.
Kabhi some things don't work out. People have their own thinking and their own approaches and attitudes. So जो चीज़ नहीं है, तो उसको accept करना better है and move ahead than to keep,
Your parents must have tried to do everything possible to join you two.
My parents, my father was a mature person, and he always believed that, what is not supposed to happen. I think my father somewhere always, he was very supportive, and so was my mother. My mother was very hopeful that the brothers would be together, but it was not destined to.
Let's see what destiny has in store for Andaaz 2. And I wish you all the best, Sunil, for Andaaz 2 and all your future assignments.
I just hope the next time we do a show, we have the success of Andaaz 2 with us, and we celebrate that on your show.
On that.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.